a podcast to honor the gods.
This better come with a sacrifice.
Dave X Media.
Welcome to the Bits, hosted by your favorite jam buds, Robert
and Charlie. Hey.
Hey, Charlie. You know what? This episode it could have been great.
It could have been so great, right? God, let's hollow out the earth, guys.
Let's hollow out the earth and
hell yeah.
Make Earth uninhabitable for the life on it. Holy shit! Who was that?
There's another voice. Oh no! Yeah, a delightful little laugh.
A wild podcaster has appeared. Hi, friends.
Hello.
Yo, it's Raye. Ray's back.
Is Raye. We love them.
You know who Raye is. You know their pronouns. You know what they do on the internet. All that jazz. Right. You know.
We love them.
Gay sex in church. Let's get that out of the way.
Yeah. Just drop that on real quick.
You know what? I don't remember the context of the original, like, when you told us, like, oh, sometimes I think about gay sex in church. I don't remember the initial conversation.
Was there a context where that makes sense?
What context could possibly?
No. Were we just talking about religious trauma or something?
Maybe
I feel like
so.
I feel like we were talking about religious
Somebody needs
trauma.
to pull up that OTAG episode and be like, what the fuck were we talking about?
Was it even on OTAG? It must have been.
It was on OTAG. It was
OTAG. It was absolutely.
But yeah, Raye, you're here. You do podcasts with this one sometimes. It's
We read some Rick Riordan books. Y'all know the drill. It's pretty fun.
It's pretty cool.
Rick Riordan.
Pretty good.
The author?
Yeah, that guy. You know that guy. Uncle Rick.
That guy.
He's kind of cool.
Uncle Rick. Yeah.
Hey, Raye. Why'd you pick this episode?
I honestly don't remember, but
cool.
I'm happy to be here. I'm glad to have a Peridot episode. You know,
I had you down for it, so I assumed that you picked it.
Probably.
Well, that seems to track. I think I remember the last episode Raye was on was also like, I don't remember why I picked this, but I vibe.
Wait, the last episode, I know Raye knew why they picked it because it was the Nightmare Hospital. It was Connie's sword fighting arc.
Yeah.
So like the last two were connected in some way. I don't know what this one what you were drawn to in this episode.
I have a game theory that comes from this episode. So
a game theory?
I do.
Fucking what? A game theory.
Okay, I have.
God, I miss Matt Pat. Rest in peace, Matt Pat.
Yeah. Sometimes I can still hear his voice. So, okay, you want to know my fun gem theory?
Yeah.
Gems have perfect pitch, naturally.
Okay, I was about to say, like, literally, we go into the episode and Peridot has perfect pitch. She doesn't know what music is. I was just like, what does this mean? What does this mean?
Okay, crystals resonate, like, with pure tones. So, this makes sense to me. Scientifically, it feels like it tracks. And also, there's other hints throughout the show, I feel. Like, in the extended theme song clip, Greg mentions that Steven picked up the ukulele, like, insanely quickly. Like,
this is true. I remember that.
Yeah. Gems, they just have perfect pitch. This is a thing. I swear to you.
I was just like, is this just Peridot immediately, like, picking up like what Steven is putting down, because he did all of the notes and then I was like, does she just remember them immediately?
That's kind of how I sing. I'm a great mimic when it comes to that was something we found out very quickly when I was first taking music lessons. It's like, you're very good at matching the notes. You're not so good at singing them on your own. And I'm like, that's why I'm here to learn.
But like the fact that she's never heard a chord before and she's able to pick out all 4 notes in every single chord, like
yeah,
Peridot's got the super neurodivergency.
But I mean, every gem does. That's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah, brother.
All gems
Because
are autistic.
a little bit. Either autistic or gay. Or both.
Or both.
Same.
Gay, autistic, and non-binary. I love this
Same.
for them.
But because I haven't said it yet, we are looking today at season 2, episode 24. It Could Have Been Gray, which premiered on January 6th, 2016.
Oh!
Hey guys, this is this date is not important. The only importance is that this episode of Steven Universe came out, right?
Yeah, that's the most important thing about this date is that Steven Universe happens.
Oh god.
To me, that's all that matters. So
right, that is all that matters to me too. Before we see Charlie the postman, bring us any post. No tears if he hasn't.
Guess what? Robert?
Oh shit!
Guess what?
Oh shit!
Hey, Mr. Postman, bring me a post. Bring me the post I love the most.
I feel like this always happens when I'm on specifically. Like I'm your magic post lucky charm.
We got this a couple days ago. Actually, I feel like we got this like right after we recorded the last episode, which is hilarious to me. We got a very long email from somebody who finally caught up.
Nice.
Robert, if you would like to, we could always like swap paragraph or something. Because this is
sure.
This is a fun one. Oh boy.
Let me pull up the boy. James Best, right? Yes. Holy shit, James! You sent a fucking manifesto. Are you gonna shoot us? Like, goddamn.
Yes. I think some of the paragraphs I was skimming at, and it's just like, if it's in italics, you don't have to read it because I know this is a monster. But I feel like we're gonna read it. I feel like that's gonna happen.
I'm so sorry for how long this post is. I promise that future posts will not be this long. Hello, Jam Buds. My name is James Best, and I hail from Robert's February guesting of The Newest Olympian. Hell yeah. As opposed to the one from last year, as I somehow did not register them mentioning this podcast the first time. Otherwise, I would have sent posts a lot sooner. Now that I'm officially caught up, this podcast will be added to the weekly podcast Friday. Queue to the weekly podcast Friday queue right after Tino. Tino's on Monday, my guy. The other podcasts in the queue are So Alright. I'm gonna pretend like I know what ANMA is. What happens if I just?
I don't know popular podcasts.
What happens if
I just
Google
know my little fandom podcast section.
Podcast ANMA.
And like all the PGO people.
The Anarchy Me Anything podcast?
Maybe.
I hope. Hey, sorry, we're
James,
not.
James, you're gonna have to tell us about this. Tell us about your podcast. What do you listen to? Can you give us some recs?
100% and 100% eat. The joke here is that they're all podcasts formerly from Rooster Teeth. Oh, yeah, okay. So no, okay,
there you go.
Because that's George Ramsay and Gustavo Sorolla. Yeah, that's okay. I get it. I get the bit. Speaking of thoughts on Ruby, Robert, how far did you get in the series? I only ever got to like the end of the second season. I've kept up with the news about Ruby and like the subsequent seasons and like what every big twist or big shock for the fans is. Like, hey, spoiler for Ruby, I was there at ground zero when Yang lost her arm.
I only ever watched 3 seasons of it, so
that was the time.
Know the premise, kind
of.
Or
when or the Blake Yang kiss, that was huge on Tumblr.
Yeah, I remember that because I'm also on Tumblr.
I know it's cute anime girls and also dead moms. I highly recommend pre-reading this post because even as I am writing it, I don't know how much bullshit I'm about to put into this. I'd hate to take up a lot of time and leave a bad impression. James, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. This is going to be the highlight of our week. So we got post. That's great. They're saying that things in italics can be skipped, but are we going to skip them? I feel like that's not going to happen. So
I would like to become a frequent poster as a precursor to becoming a patron, which is also a precursor to guesting on the pod. Yes, if you do $20 a month, you sign yourself up to be a guest in a future episode of The Bits. Patreon.com/TheBitsSUPod, which would fulfill a bucket list item. I also need to read this paragraph. Even with a full-time job as a mechanic, I am broke as hell to the point where I don't even have $20 disposable income. It's ridiculous. I love working on cards, but I hate that my trade is easily affected by the state of the economy. I work 50 hours a week to walk away with only 30 hours pay. Hell yeah, brother. We love taxes. We don't love taxes because none of the people can afford to have their cars worked on for me to exceed the minimum. Also that, I imagine, hey, there's like a quota you have to meet, which sucks. I'm sorry, my friend.
Well, I hope and yearn to one day appear as a guest. I am also mortified at the idea of A, fucking up on live recording. Don't worry, I do that every single time. B, not having meaningful input to the episode. Literally everybody worries about that. It's fine. We got you. And C, shit quality audio that also, it's par for the course. It just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Or you can get a microphone. Microphones are great. I barely have a fully functioning laptop, mood, let alone a microphone or knowledge to utilize recording software. I've touched Audacity like 3 times. With the and Steven tier of the Patreon, has there been any thought of the logistics of having a guest on? Would you do something like a test run? Does the quality of the guest audio actually matter for you? I'm very curious about how all that would go down.
We've had people on this podcast who have not the best audio, and luckily for us, we record with a software called Zencaster, which does a lot of the cleanup for me, and then I know enough audio editing that I can clean up anything else possible. For the most part, you'll be fine. If you pay the end Steven tier and you want to come up with and you want to come on for an episode, we'll figure out your audio. We also might ask you to send us like a recording or something.
And if you're guesting on a podcast like this, you don't have to worry about audio software. Like, you're not going to be doing any editing. That's all in post.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all me.
That's all Robert shit. You gotta make Robert sweat and have terrible audio just for them to have to edit.
I try and make it sound good. I try and keep the silences out. I found out finally, because everyone always and like James here will be like, oh yeah, I agree. And that's something that Mike talks about in his podcast a lot. That like the secret is like he has a bunch of audio software, whatever. The main secret to what a good podcast is apparently is cutting out as many silences as possible.
Mm-hmm. I use truncate silence on Audacity. Like,
truncate silence is my bitch,
my best friend. Like,
hell.
If we do like an hour and a half, the truncate silence will take out like 15-20 minutes. And like,
yes, it's great. It's amazing.
It's great. It's amazing because, that saves me so much time because I used to do that shit manually.
Right.
Same.
But also, like, leaving that silence in straight up feels rude to a listener. Like, I'm not going to waste people's time. I'm not going to waste 20 minutes of your time with silence.
No, yeah.
Fuck no.
Darian is currently my favorite guest on the podcast, and I want to cease all functions for spelling their name wrong in my comment on Jailbreak. I will likely go back and listen to that episode over and over again as time goes on. Drunk Darian spoke directly into my queer soul. Second place goes to Kyla. Damn it! I'm keeping that in. I fucked up.
Every time. Every fucking time.
Also, I was doing good for a while, but I'm a little tipsy right now, so you're gonna have to pardon me.
James, I remember seeing that comment on the episode, and I definitely shared it in our group chat with Darian, who was like, rip my name, but also like hearted it because they loved your comment. So
to quote Darian directly, we sent her the photo and she's like, "Ah, bitch spelled my name wrong." We love you, James. It doesn't matter. But yeah, if you want a little behind the scenes sneak peek to the group chats we name, because like we have little group chats to be like, oh hey, your episode's coming up. Would you like to set up a recording time? And we have that for every guest. So like for example, for when Phoebe's on, our group chat is called Donut Bits, or when we have Ethan on, it's Mystery in the Bits. Or
anybody who has a podcast, I try to do a riff on like that with both of the podcast names. This started,
the one with Raye is called Of the Eldest Bits.
You know how this bit started, Robert, is when I got Monster Donut on Of the Eldest Gods, and I was just like, I'm gonna call this the Eldest Donut collab. So
that's a good one.
Speaking of queer, how the fuck do gender? Me too, bro. Me too.
Big mood.
Get that tattooed on my forehead. How the fuck do gender? I cannot for the life of me figure this shit out. My gender is envy, and my pronouns are I/wish. Mood! I'm gonna peek the audio just for you, Robert. I can't figure out how I want to be perceived, and it's mostly because I am at ridiculous levels of mass presenting. I want to straight up shape shift and look like everyone else around me instead of myself.
How to know you're trans, TM? You get asked the question, "Hey, what superpower would you have?" Shapeshifting.
I always said flight.
I also said flight, but like second place would be shapeshifting.
When I started figuring some shit out, it definitely became more shapeshifting because flight is just added onto that, right?
Oh well, you're on the Animorph shit. Yeah, I have kind of the opposite problem because I'm AFAB and thick as hell, and it's really inconvenient.
Mood, right? It's not an issue. We're in the same boat, right? We're in the absolute same boat. You've met me in person. We got the thick booties. We got the thick thighs. It sucks, man. How dare I have a figure?
What am I supposed to do with all this?
My gender is actually the opposite of yours, James. It's I do not want to be perceived.
A joke sometimes I'll have with Charlie is that, like, in their bio they'll be like, ask me my pronouns, and I'll be like, Charlie, what are your pronouns today? And they'll be like, I don't know, just don't look at me.
This used to be a thing that I would do in college. I was just like, yeah, like I go by like she and he pronouns. Ask me which ones based on the day.
And then you had to pick. Oh man, that sounds like a nightmare.
This was my Alex Fierro era of existence, just so y'all get the reference. But goddamn.
Yeah, I am like kind of gendered fluid-y, I think. And I do like kind of have preferences depending on the time, but like actually having to like do the introspection to like decide every day, never.
Sometimes I would be like, I want to wear this outfit, so I think these are going to be the pronouns today. Like, kind of based off of that.
I just generally vibe with they them, and I'm like, I'm a blob. But I will be very quick to be like, oh yeah, man, dude, he, him. I'm a dude when it is funny or convenient.
Yeah,
dude has no gender.
I'm dude, a man babe, when it's funny or convenient. Brosive. That's just flirting at that point. You can call your romantic partner dude, bro, homie.
Hey, homie, how's it hanging?
Charles, please. My partner listens to this.
Oh, I know. Your partner listens to it, and you're really, really gay.
I really
as you've mentioned several times.
I like.
Hi, Mac.
Hey, Charlie. Mac. Charlie says hi. He's
I love Mac.
You have to leave that in the recording. I know that got picked up because I could hear it slightly.
Yeah, it's required.
And then, hey, spoilers for the guest. He's going to be the guest for the next episode because that is the first appearance of Yellow Diamond, aka Patty LaPone.
Hey, aka the giraffe, the space giraffe.
AKA my boyfriend is such a fucking theater nerd. And the second, I remember when he was first watching the show and he was like, Patty LaPone! And I'm like, yeah, that's,
delightful.
What are we up to? I'm healing for my important, Charlie,
sorry. I think, I don't know if I've already mentioned this on here, but when I was watching Agatha all along, I was like, where do I know you from? And I was like, oh my god, Steven Universe!
Yellow Diamond? I'm hailing from my important business email addressed as opposed to my personal one because I would rather be made fun of for having a Hotmail account despite being born in 2000 as opposed to being made fun of for what I chose as the name of my Gmail account, both of which were registered when I was like 13. I'm not going to read out your email account or the full name you left off at the end for obvious fucking reasons, but Hey, I also have a Hotmail somewhere in the void that I no longer have
my
access to
first email was a Hotmail, and I have forgotten what it even was, so...
You heard it here first, folks. Raye deals with Hotmails all the time.
James, I still use like the same username that I used when I was like, I don't fucking know how old, like 8 or 9 or some shit. Like,
oh god.
Whenever the fuck that this game called VMK existed, that is when I created Green Pixie. Originally, it was Green Pixie Gal. And now it's just Green Pixie 12. But yeah, that's what I created my internet username thing. So, because Tinkerbell. Because I'm obsessed.
Tinkerbell.
She's life. So we're all nerds here, actually.
Yeah.
Why haven't you had a Tinkerbell podcast yet?
Okay, there's the content for that is like not as concentrated as some of the other things that I talk about.
I mean, that seems like a quick, short little extra podcast to do. Like, hey, to bring it back
unless I go through every single book in the
there are all the books and there's all the movies.
I know.
Hey, you can do that really quick. Hey, to bring it back to Mike Schubert real quick, he recently released a podcast of him watching the Fast and Furious movies for the first time, and like he just done quick in like 10 episodes or whatever. So hey, do the same thing for Tinkerbell.
I would just be gushing because she's everything. She's perfect. She's Mae Whitman.
I'm better than no man, but sometimes I have seen like, especially around like Halloween, the slutty Tinkerbell outfits, and I'm like, oh, I'm not strong. I'm weak.
You don't even need a slutty Tinkerbell outfit. Her actual outfit is so slutty. Okay? I'm not okay. There's a reason I'm gay.
Charlie, let me appreciate the human body, damn it. All right.
No, she's a fairy. She's a fairy, damn it. So Connie is my favorite human character, followed by Sadie, with Stevani being my favorite all-around character, mostly because of the gender reasons.
Hell yeah.
Seeing them always makes me feel fuzzy and warm inside, and I love them so much. Garnet is my favorite gem. I used to have a shirt that said True Kind of Love because that song made me cry so bad in the movie. Streaming tears like a faucet with a straight face. And then Peridot, because of course. And then Lapis, because she's pretty. And then Bismuth. Fucking love Bismuth. Yeah, just I think you've named all the characters at this point. I think that's all of them. Except Steven and Pearl. So
Steven. Lastly, because I'm a car guy, I would like to ask your guys' thoughts on cars. What's your favorite dream car? I promise I won't judge unless it's a Kia, Hyundai, or a Tesla. Have you ever had questions about your car? Do you ever get frustrated with them? Is driving an experience or a chore for you? What's the longest you've driven? Okay. I'm going to quickly pull up the error code I looked up earlier in my car because I do have something wrong with my car right now.
Oh my god.
I know I need to take mine in for an oil change. Also, the tire light has been on for so long. But I think it just kept turning on every time during the winter weather. So like I was like, it's probably just the cold, and then the cold just made it forever be on. So it's just broken right now. I think that's what I'm going with. But car things, I don't know a whole lot about cars.
I'm like car blind. You know how you can be face blind? Like if I don't know a car intimately, I won't recognize it. Like I don't know cars.
That has 4 wheels. It has a windshield and doors. That's a car. Unless I know somebody who has that specific car. No, not even. If my parents have had that specific car, I know what it is. And that's it. That's the only way that I know what a car is.
So let's see. In order, what's my favorite / dream car? DeLorean. It's not because I think it's a good car. It's because I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Have I ever had questions about my car? I drive a Nissan Versa, and currently it is experiencing a mass airflow sensor that I gotta fix somehow, and I was supposed to do today, but then I just ate Chinese food and got drunk. Do I ever get frustrated with my car? Yes, I do. Is driving an experience or a chore for me? It's just a vibe, dude. Like sometimes I'll drive my boyfriend home who lives like an hour away from me by driving, and he'd be like, I feel so bad. And I'm like, I get to talk to you for an hour, and then like on the way back, I like listen to a podcast or something, and then an hour flies by. I don't care. And then the longest I've ever driven, I drove 10 hours in a day once, 5 to, and then 5 back. I drove 5 hours down to Delaware and then 5 hours back just to see friend of the pod who has not been on the pod, but friend of the pod, Emily Garber's like musical that she's making.
I've been a delivery driver for Domino's. So if you want to know how long I've driven for, as long as my shifts have been. Basically. Also, I didn't answer the dream car question, but not for any practical reasons. I want Herbie. I want a 1960s love bug because I watched the movies as a small child. And by the movies, I don't just mean the Lindsay Lohan one, because I'm also a giant Herbie nerd. So, fun facts about me.
Hell yeah, brother. All right. And then the email ends with, once again, I'm so fucking sorry for how long this email is. I just started typing and it just kept going. We have spent most of this time not even covering the episode. It's going great. Can't wait for the next episode. And then the name you left says the first name is for family work. The second name is for general use. The third is for drug dealing, Winky. And the secret fourth option of Ruby, not influenced by media, I swear. So thanks, James. We appreciate the long, convoluted email.
We appreciate when we get mail. We love a post. We love a good post. I love that it's called post in all caps. I finally caught up.
Post. Hell
specifically.
Yeah, brother. All right. Friends, we want to start covering the episode.
We could do that, I guess, if that's what we're here to do today, I think. Hey, Steven Universe, we start off the fucking episode. It feels like the end of an episode because they're just like staring at all three of the gems are staring at the sunset, and there's ukulele music playing. End of an episode vibes, and Steven is just chilling by Lion, and Peridot's like, why the fuck did you stop working? Because we worked for the day, we did some good stuff, we're taking a rest, we're enjoying the view. Peridot's like, excuse me, that view is going to be destroyed if we don't deal with the cluster. Worry about the fucking cluster, guys.
But then Steven's like, listen, it's important to build the drill and stop the cluster, but also it's important to just take a break, to feel good. And then he's like, hey, let's sing a song. And she's like, fuck is a song? What's music? And then we get, honestly, I completely forgot about the song, but I love the song so much.
How could you forget about peace and love on the planet Earth?
I remember when this came out. Like, it was so immediately iconic.
I tried learning how to play this on the ukulele. Things I tried to learn how to play on the ukulele. This song and the theme song.
Oh, whoa.
I think
Come on,
Teddy
sing
can
it
play
with
this one
me.
on ukulele. I remember them learning it.
My ukulele is like right next to my desk.
This is a good song, and it gives me many good feelings. Is there anything that's worth more than peace and love on the planet Earth? Whoa, come and sing it with me.
Sing?
The words relate to the key.
Key?
Where the
way
fuck
she
did she
holds
get
up
this
a
key
key,
from?
I've always thought is so ridiculous. Like, where did she get that from?
The most autistic thing.
If it's a pattern, then just repeat after me. Life and death and love and birth.
Life and death and love and birth and...
Now you sing mi fa mi fa mi ti la, and peace and war on the planet Earth.
It's a good harmony line.
It really is, but then I like the ending, especially when Paradox sort of go into like, yeah, no, I guess this is insane that I'm like friends with y'all, but hey, it's working, so fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. It's the character development song, actually.
It's character development for her, and it's also, part of like the main themes of the show, the world, and also, I don't know, there's Steven Universe. I was thinking about this because we talk a lot about the Earth and how it's like this very special, unique place, and like how the sheer beauty of the Earth like has affected like the people who are there, like the gems who land there, like how there's something special about the Earth. But it's also like Earth is unique and special, but so is everywhere else. And just because Earth is unique doesn't mean that other places where life exists aren't also unique and worth protecting. It's just that this is the one that we happen to be at. And like, colonization is bad, besties. I don't know.
Fascism bad.
Woo!
I don't think it's it hasn't quite happened yet. It just happened in this last episode that came out where Charlie and I, like every episode, are now just being like, fascism bad.
Yeah, it's the new slogan of the podcast. Fascism bad.
We've gone from, hey guys, DashCon 2 to, hey guys, fascism bad.
We had a short era of Rebecca Piss. Always time to bring that back. There were a lot of bathroom jokes. Okay.
Oh my god.
In a row.
What are y'all doing over here?
It was not us, it was the episodes itself. Steven peeing outside kept being a joke. So, yeah. It's a good song, guys. I like this song. It makes me very happy. And then we're like, hey, we need to figure out where the fuck we're gonna drill. Because we can't just, like, keep going down until we hit cluster. I feel like we could, technically.
No,
but
you can't. The cluster is in the mantle. It's in a specific location. You can't just drill down from anywhere. You might just go right past it. Like, it's not actually... I mean, it's huge, but it's not that big. It's not like it's just chilling in the center of the Earth. They specify it's in the mantle.
Chilling in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
I'm still just picturing it as the same exact thing as the weird creature that is birthed from Earth in the Eternals movie, which nobody saw but me. But it's,
I certainly didn't. But I did just watch Jacob Geller's video, a video about digging a hole. And so now I know just how impressive their drill is. Did you know that we have never managed to drill even halfway through the crust of the planet? Like,
no.
It's really fucking hard to get really deep, guys.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she did say that.
Boy. Okay, well, we need to go to, guess what? The moon. Is it Pearl who says this? Because, okay, this episode, I was focusing so hard on Pearl and everything that Pearl does and says.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, if ever there's going to be some foreshadowing, I feel like it has to be some here. because we're getting some more stuff about diamonds and
This
more stuff
was such
about
an exciting lore drop episode.
we're
You
getting
know, people
more
like
Earth colony
examining
stuff.
the murals and the moon and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So Pearl does say, like, we have to go to, looks up, and Steven's like, oh, the moon! What? And we get Lion to super jump us. He doesn't want to at first because, you know, he could take in a good cat nap. But when Steven's like, there will be no more naps if you don't save the world. So we get him.
That's enough to get Lion back up and running and be like, oh, fuck, you're kidding me.
And we do the warpity warp, and guess what? The warp is shaped like diamonds. If you didn't already know that, more diamond shit. So many diamonds all over the place. And hey, look, we're on the moon, and we can only tell that we're on the moon because Steven is a moon boy. He does the gravity thing. He does the gravity jumping. He can do that. Nobody else can because they're made of light.
Yes, they are a spacefaring race that is designed to function perfectly on any given planetoid, which I love. That's such a good detail. Gem lore, gem biology, the best.
Yeah. Also, we get, I think everybody except maybe Amethyst does the gem flashlight thing. I feel like we've only seen Pearl do that before this episode. So again, more power things. I'm noticing because even Garnet does it with her hands. Peridot's doing it with her gem. So
I also wanted to mention that Lion is such a sweet little guy. I love him. He's so sleepy. It was so hard for him to get them up to the moon, and I support him in all of his naps.
You know, that's pretty dang far for him to go. So
he had to do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was going to say he had to do like multiple like rings for them to go really fast.
It's interesting because Lion's warping is very clearly different from the gem's warping technology. You know, he's not going through those same beams of light that they do. I'm trying to remember, like, if distance affects, you know, their warping capabilities, because, you know, you can have a warp from Earth to Homeworld, and that doesn't appear to like affect how long it takes or anything. Whereas this
might affect how long it takes,
and that's what I was trying to remember if it does.
We haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I think the only time we really see warping between Homeworld and Earth happens like in future, because we don't have a working warp until then. So yeah, but. This is where we get the murals, guys. First, we see Blue. And guys, this is the first time we've seen Blue without her big, her shawl. Because we just got that in the answer. And I was like, I wish we saw more of her in the shawl. It makes me so sad. We see it like twice and then it's gone forever. But this is her with her hair. They don't have the fully realized designs of the diamonds just yet, because like this doesn't have Blue's little hair, almost beard, like the way that it like kind of like goes down and it connects in that weird way. But she looked pretty. She's cool. And then Peridot's like, oh, wait, are they all here? Yes, here is my diamond. The most perfect of them all. Yellow diamond. It's the space giraffe. It's her. She's here. She's got here. the funky, not hair as I've heard. It's actually a helmet. So I want to know what her hair looks like. I really want to know, guys.
It looks like something.
It sure does. I don't know. But hers is the like the only one that I think is the same exactly compared to the other ones. But yeah, this is where we finally get, hey, the diamonds, they're our overlords. They're the most perfect beings. They created everything. We're made to serve them. Didn't you know that, Steven? The fact that he's like, oh yeah, they seem to be a big deal. Are they a big deal? Steven Diamond Universe. Boy, howdy. They sure are a big deal.
Not the full legal name. Well, no, Charlie, you know what's a bit we haven't done in a while? You need to say the whole Steven's name.
Oh, God. It's
wait, do I have it? Stephen Quartz Cutie Pie Diamond DeMeo Universe?
Yes! You did it!
Thank you.
I don't remember, like, what the order is, but it's like, you put every single frickin' name that they've ever called him all together. And also Cutie
beautiful. Pie. I love him. What a little guy. Well, you know that he says that once, right? Like,
Oh, I
that's why
do.
that's in there. Yeah.
I know.
My
I
middle name is, or
fucking know.
Barnett says it, your middle name is Cutie Pie.
Yes, correct.
Okay, good.
It's his name.
It sure
Obviously.
is. It sure
I
is.
hope he legally changed it to that.
Like,
I really
as far as
hope.
I can tell, that is his legal. I don't know if Steven has a legal name. Does Steven have papers? Is he a citizen? This
I
has
love
always
to bring
been a
this up.
question.
I love bringing up whether or not he is actually a citizen or technically still illegal.
He is an alien.
I mean,
well, he's half
he was
alien.
born here, so he's a citizen by the fact that he's born here.
Yeah, he is naturalized. That's true.
Amethyst would also be a citizen, so
Oh, good for her.
everyone else, not exactly. Pearl has mentioned this. She doesn't exactly
Yes,
have a driver's
she is
license.
not a citizen.
Even though she's lived here for like almost 6,000 years. So,
You know, whatever, man.
don't worry about it.
Okay. Where were we?
They find the stairs and they upset Lion by bringing the stairs, make them floaty and
crime.
everything. Truly a crime. Horrible.
Why would you do this to my boy?
I love how Peridot is just like, oh my god, we're walking in the steps of the diamonds. Steven's like, they sure liked stairs.
Yeah.
I love how Steven is consistently just being like, damn, it's really weird that you're like celebrating fascism paradox.
Also, little white diamond in the background as they're walking up the stairs. There is a room that we go to that is not important right now. We'll deal with that another time. Is that the fucking room where they can see like the stuff on the planet?
It absolutely is. Yes, it is. That's what the circle in the center is. It's the circle that you touch and you can see whatever. And this was where I noticed the Pearl foreshadowing, because she is like not making eye contact. Like as she's walking up, she is like not looking at anything in here.
Yep. And
Yeah.
it's because she knows. She knows.
There are like so many moments where I was just like, what's Pearl doing in this part? What is she, where is she? Peridot's loving everything about how cool this place is, even though it's really old tech, like whatever. It's not that cool, actually. Steven just straight up sits in the throne, is like, whatever.
Why
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
he?
touch shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're here to do. Nobody rules over Earth anymore, so why not? Do
there
we think
are no rules.
could anyone have pressed those buttons and activated it? Or is it just him?
That is a question that I have. Yeah.
Narratively, it makes sense why it's just him, because
Right.
Mhm.
Peridot says that the chair is for elites. She doesn't specifically say only diamonds. The chair is smaller than it would be for a diamond specifically, but that's because this is Pink's colony, presumably.
Mhm.
Right.
If it's Pink's chair, then that makes sense. I could see it either way.
Because we definitely see Pink sitting in this exact chair later on.
Mhm.
And that's
I
the
think I
exact
remember that
same
too.
hand thing that we've seen in like, Rose's armory and the kindergarten and everything. So I'm like, could it
And
be
Steven pretty much always activates those as far as I can remember,
Yeah,
Right.
well, he has the highest authority. So there you go. And I'm just loving how every time we go over between Peridot and Steven having this conversation, we can see like midway down from on Pearl, we do not see Pearl's face. But we see Pearl is right behind Peridot. And I'm just like, what's Pearl thinking right now? What's her facial expression? Huh? Is there a reason we're seeing this? I'm probably reading too much into it. But I'm also just like, Pearl?
It's totally a thing because that's also her position. Like, she's got to be having like a flashback right now. Like, that's where she stood.
Exactly. That was her place. Steven, takes the little doohickey out of the chair, and Peridot's like, don't touch that. It's not important right now. We're not dealing with this. Let's look through the files. Hey, yo.
God, we're looking through the diamonds porn.
I want to know what else is on here. I do. You joke about porn, but I'm just like, do Pink and Pearl have cute little pictures of themselves on here? Because I feel like that absolutely would have happened.
Charlie, no.
It's
No,
interesting.
I'm not saying sexual. I'm saying
No,
like
no.
I'm saying
I'm not
like
even saying that.
selfies. Like
I'm saying like for them to be cute. It's like no, they're not cutesy besties. They're just fascist dictators.
Right.
they were
Like
also gay.
I'm thinking about like, you know, we established earlier in this episode that like gems don't have a concept of leisure, you know? I'm pretty sure that everything on here is pretty utilitarian.
And yet, my brain is going back to it's Blue Pearl that does like the little drawings during the court proceedings and shit. Like
Yes.
that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking of. Like, you
Mm.
know, like, hey, you just do a cute little doodle. It ends up in like the files for
In the
some
cloud.
reason because
Yeah.
like, you know, everything ends up in the cloud. I'm just like, what if they did like a cute little goof off and they were like, we're gonna look at all the places on Earth. Hey, I'm doing a lot of peace signs right now. This is not great for audio, but like that's what my brain's going to, where they're like, hey, look, I'm over here on Earth. And they're being silly.
You're right that Pink would have. Pearl at the time would not have.
But you know what I mean. Like she's dragging
Yeah.
Pearl into it, and that's how Pearl is falling in love with her slowly. So, you know. Anyway, this is our first real picture of the Earth. Russia does not exist.
Oh dear.
I can't believe Russia's dead.
Did you not know about this, Raye? Did you not know about this from the fandom?
I knew that something was fucked up. I knew that at least something was missing, but I didn't remember that specifically Russia was not there.
That's my favorite meme from the fandom, where it's just like, oh, Russia, you want to censor us? You're gone. There's a giant hole in Russia.
It's kind of reminding me a little bit of those memes of like the Hunger Games, and it's like, hey, or like the other countries are like, hey, what do you think America's doing? America.
The
Yeah.
Hunger Games, right there. That's what's happening. Apparently, the cluster was inserted in California. Good to know. That's the insertion point, which they need to stop saying in the show.
But it's very important to locate the insertion point.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Guys, insertion is not an inherently sexual word. It's a perfectly fine, normal word for my children's cartoon.
Yeah, let me insert my cluster into your Earth.
Through the insertion hole.
I can't not.
I'm so glad children don't listen to this fucking podcast.
They definitely do, because I've seen the analytics.
This is supposed to be a fucking explicit rated podcast. Like, if your kids are listening to this, that's on you at this point, parents. I can't stop. I cannot prevent.
It's rated explicit. I'm just saying I've seen the analytics.
Crazy.
Sometimes people are just little weirdos.
Kids could be doing worse shit on the internet.
And now Peridot shows us how perfect Earth could have been, because she's just like going ham on all of this. She's like, oh, let's look at all the little places that were originally here, made for gems. We see like every place that we've ever gone to in season 1. Like Lunar Sea Spire is definitely on here. That rip Lunar Sea Spire.
Rip.
Rip crystal shrimps.
I was going to say rip to the crystal shrimps. They're a real one. Pour one out for the boys.
And then Peridot's like, this is what the Earth could have been. See? It's beautiful. It's a finished Earth colony. I can't believe you guys wasted this. So many gems would have been made.
It's useful the way that, you know, it's projected as being. As it currently is, it is not useful. Like, Peridot's worldview is entirely utilitarian. She's learning otherwise, but she's not there yet.
I hate the word useful. Just so often. It's just one of those things, you know? It's like you can't just exist. You can't just be happy where you are. You have to always be doing something. It's the capitalist mindset, right? Y'all fucking hate it. I hate it here. Can we move to this Earth? Maybe they don't have those things. I want to live under Mayor Nanafwa.
Rip.
Even though she hasn't been elected yet, but don't worry about it. Yeah, so all of the crystal gems are like mad about this shit.
Yeah.
So fucking mad.
It is an understandable emotional reaction. Peridot is parroting exactly the rhetoric that they were fighting against, like, and so they have this immediate defensive reaction. It makes a ton of sense that happens to them. They are also seeing something that is very upsetting and shocking to them that Peridot is treating as normal, because Peridot doesn't have this immediate emotional reaction to seeing a all but destroyed Earth with no life left on it, whereas all of them do. It's a super interesting scene because Garnet even says, like, she lifts up Peridot by the front of her little shirt and she's like, you are talking about things that you don't understand. And the truth is that she doesn't understand what she's talking about. You know, she is starting to get it, but, you know, changing your entire like worldview is not an easy thing to do. And so the way that they react to the situation is understandable, but it's also not helpful in the current moment. And Steven is the only one who really recognizes that.
Yeah, he's trying to do the bard thing. He's like, hey, let's sing the song, guys. Remember the song we just sang?
November.
But also, the other important the important Pearl thing happening in this moment, when they're seeing what the Earth like would have looked like, the finished colony. I don't know if this is the first time it's happened, but we get Pearl covering her mouth.
Oh,
we get the thing.
Oh man, I didn't.
We
notice.
get the thing.
So good.
I noticed it, and I was like, y'all, it's happening. Pearl wants to say a thing, but she cannot. I wonder why.
Pearl wants to say fuck, except she can't, and she. Oh God,
Let
I don't
Pearl
know.
Say fuck.
Maybe that's also one of the things that Rose was like, yeah, hey, you can't say fuck either.
God.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? You know, Steven at least makes sure Garnet does not punch Peridot's face in. And Steven's just, he's upset with Peridot.
He is, yeah.
You know, he's just like, I
again,
thought you were
understandably so.
I'm so sad.
Right.
I thought what we had was special.
It's the parent saying, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
The thing is that Peridot is making a lot of progress, but progress is not linear. Steven wants progress to be linear, he wants it to make sense, and it's just not going to. Peridot is going to have backslides because, like, she is starting to see that the Earth is valuable, but she hasn't actually challenged her, like, internal assumptions about what actually does have value.
Right.
Yeah. You know what has value? Their friendship. So she should make sure that stays. So we love that friendship. But as the episode is ending, Peridot grabs that little doohickey that was in the chair that she told Steven not to touch. And Steven sees it. And it's a very dramatic moment.
I kind of forgot that this episode and the next episode were two different episodes. Like, this is such a cliffhanger. And then you've got to wait. And then the next episode, you're going to be thinking about it the whole time. Very exciting.
We'll have forgotten at this point, like that point when we get to record that. Who knows? We'll be like, all right.
It was kind of funny to just see how abruptly the episode ended, because I'm like, I know what happens next. Like the whole like they talk to Yellow Diamond. She calls her a clod. Wait a minute, why'd the episode end? No,
right?
That's supposed to happen next. Why'd the episode end?
That's how I
you
felt.
Don't separate. Certain episodes really work best as a Steven bomb. Okay.
Hell yeah, brother.
True.
Speaking of Steven bombs, should we talk about some trivia? Maybe go to the Crystal Temple, Robert?
In the Crystal Temple trivia section. Let's go.
The global map of Earth observed in the moon base doesn't quite match our real life, including a conspicuously large crater / indentation in the coastline in Siberia, the African continent being smaller, Australia being nearly split in two, and the Horn of South America being larger. Sugar has previously mentioned that the Earth seen in the cartoon has a slightly alternate timeline from real life, to greater and lesser degrees due to the presence of the gems affecting history.
Peridot flips through the diagrams of completed structures. The following structures are seen in order: the Lunar Sea Spire, the Ancient Sky Arena, the Sea Shrine, the Sky Spire, the Communication Hub, a tower surrounded by mountains, possibly the moon base seen in this episode, a structure resembling a Mesopotamian ziggurat or Mesoamerican pyramid, possibly the pyramid in the desert seen in Steven's line, and the Galaxy Warp. You know, that pyramid that just went kaboom.
Yes, that's definitely the one that we're talking about. Mm-hmm.
The design for the completed Earth colony, a sphere with craters and spikes, resembles the structure of some viral capsids and viral envelopes. That's interesting. Yeah.
The facial hair Steven grew in the previous episode seems to have disappeared in this episode. This may indicate that he started shaving before this episode occurred. It is also possible that the hair is just too small to be visible, or was omitted as a result of an animation error.
I can't believe our boy is old enough to shave.
He is 14, so...
Yeah, that is about when I started to like grow facial hair enough to a point that I need to shave. And that's time for cultural references. Steven sings the do re mi fa sol la ti do solfege method used in teaching music and pitch.
Steven sings a song on the moon to the tune of The Fountain in the Park, similar to how Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt did so during an EVA on Apollo 17 in 1972. That's cute.
Interesting. Now for my favorite segment, continuity. The drill that is being built since Back to the Barn is finished. Hey.
The Great Diamond Authority, first mentioned by Ronaldo in Keep Bait Shitty Weird, is confirmed to be the ruling group of the gem race. The rest is also to be hollowed out, another piece of information that Ronaldo is correct about. I hated this. When this part of the episode came out, I verbatim out loud say, I fucking hate that Ronaldo was right.
They want to hollow out the earth! Ah!
It's my favorite shit. It's so funny.
I hate that he was right.
Oh, man.
I just hate Ronaldo.
Spoilers on the Steven Universe wiki.
Gasp.
Gasp.
We talk about it all the time, man.
Rose Quartz's identity as Pink Diamond was hinted in the episode when Steven was able to activate the chair situated in the moon base. We were just talking about this, which, as Peridot stated, was the chair where only the diamonds can sit on. I didn't like the way that was phrased, further hinting Steven's heritage as a diamond. This was also indirectly hinted during the scene where the diamonds climb up the stairs of the moon base, where Peridot states that they were literally walking in the footsteps of the diamonds, with Steven leading the way. Cute.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's so good. It's so important.
It's interesting. The show does place Steven as like a very natural leadership figure and like acknowledges that he is special because he is a diamond, which kind of bothers me because it's like a little eugenics-y. Like, but the show is like interesting about that. Like, I'm thinking about the episode in future where Steven is trying to give everyone like different jobs that don't have to do with the things that they were made for, but they're like, I'm actually happier doing the thing that I was made for because it's easier for me and is more pleasant. And he's like, what? No, then we're just like the diamonds. And yeah, it's the gem society fucking weird. It's hard to actually map onto our human society because they actually are made for specific purposes.
All right, my friends. So I guess it is time to start awarding Pearl Points. Who are giving our Pearl Points to this episode?
We didn't have a whole lot of little guys in this episode besides Peridot and Steven.
Mine goes to Lion. He did so good.
He did. Lion's the real one this episode.
I'm gonna give it to
I'm struggling.
I'm also struggling. I'm gonna give it to
I'm gonna give it to Steven for just trying to keep the peace, be a bard,
and we've
songs.
said multiple times that like, oh hey, this is gonna be the section of Peridot gets a bajillion points, so you know what? I'm just gonna give it to Peridot.
You know who's gonna get it next episode, and I think we know it's gonna be Peridot.
Peridot deserves all the points.
I can almost guarantee that Mac's vote is not gonna go to Yellow Diamond, it's gonna go to Patty Lapone.
That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah. All right. And then the question. What the hell's the question?
Fuck.
Why are you green?
What did we do in this episode that has a question? I was trying to write down the Pearl Point. It's not like I can ask, have you ever been to the moon? So
we were talking about driving earlier. Maybe like, what's the furthest distance you've ever traveled?
The furthest distance I've ever traveled. Does any form of transportation count? Because the furthest form by driving was probably to Delaware, but then the farthest form on plane, I've been to South America a few times.
Cool.
Hell yeah, brother.
I've been to Greece. You can blame Uncle Rick for that one.
I would love to
Which
go
is a wild thing.
On a Percy Jackson inspired like quest to Greece.
I think that needs to be a thing at some point, right? The damn meme page in front of the Parthenon.
Truly.
What could be better?
Look, the way things are going, I don't know what I'm gonna do in the future. But like I currently right now at the time of recording this have like 3 flights lined up, right? 2 flights technically in the flight back to Denver, Colorado and to Santa Monica Pier so that I can record for my video essay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're gonna ask me where the fuck is Los Angeles, I'll tell you you won't catch me dead in Los Angeles. I'm sorry, in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah. You won't catch me fucking dead in Vegas. Lamau.
What? Want to go gambling? Right?
Let's go gambling. Aw, man. I can't stop winning.
Don't you want to go find Lin-Manuel Miranda in a casino?
I have a better chance of finding Lin-Manuel Miranda if I'm walking down the streets of Manhattan.
That's fair.
Very true.
That's absolutely valid. Ray, did you say where you traveled?
Oh, no, I didn't. The furthest I've ever driven myself was from Ohio to South Dakota, with my little sister, co-driving. Good times.
Yeah.
The furthest I've ever been was the time that I spent a month in Armenia.
Ooh, damn, the Raye lore.
Yeah,
I
my
think I
little
remember
sister
this.
was studying languages, and I just tagged along. We were in
As
Yerevan.
one does.
Why not? Why
Went
not?
to some museums. Kind of slapped.
Yee.
Sometimes you just go places.
Go places and do things. All right, folks. That's the end of another wonderful episode of The Bits. If you want to find Raye, I mean, we already made the jokes, but like Raye, where can they find you on the internet?
Yeah, you please come listen to the Eldest Gods. We love to talk about mythology and it being translated into middle grade books. Good times.
Right now it's mostly Egyptian shit, but you know.
God, I
Egyptian shit's
can't
fun.
wait. Can't wait till y'all get to Norse mythology stuff. That's gonna be great.
That's gonna be
It's
in
gonna be
like
so
10
long.
years. You gotta get through all of those.
You gotta get through all the heroes. You gotta get through all Canes. For some reason, you guys are covering Canes one chapter at a time.
Shut the
Even
fuck
though
up.
there's two chapter POVs.
We will do 2 chapter VOVs in Heroes, okay? Okay? I made that executive decision. Don't you worry about that. Also, if y'all are a Bits listener and you ever want to come chat with Raye, we're in the same Discord because we're on the same network. Hey yo,
We love you,
Yo.
Dix.
$1.
Media.
All you gotta do is like pay us $1 on Patreon and you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server.
Actually,
so
you should pay us $50,000.
yeah, that way we can go to the moon.
Hell yeah, Charlie! It costs way more than that to go to the moon. I appreciate your
know.
enthusiasm, but we need more money if we want to go to the moon.
No, $50,000 and then we can get a lion and then we can go to the moon, right? That's all it takes. You get a lion, you tie it pink, you go to the moon.
Well, you know what? Before the podcast gets even more deranged and crazy, if every podcast were perfect,
We wouldn't have the bits.
bye.
The bits. Okay, bye.
You can follow this podcast socials at the Bits SU Pod on Instagram and Tumblr. You can send a message to our diamond line through thebitsSUPod@gmail.com. If you'd like to support us financially, join us at our Patreon, patreon.com/thebitsu. By becoming a patron, you can join the Deus Ex Media Discord server, where you'll be able to chat with us and other listeners about Steven Universe, or whatever else. Our $5 patron tier also gets you access to Steven's Room, our monthly bonus show. There, we'll be talking about a wide variety of topics, which usually have something to do with Steven in some way. No promises.
You can check out our merch store, The Bits SU, on Redbubble to find custom designs made by yours truly. Or if you cannot or do not want to support us financially, we'd really appreciate a rating, a review, or even letting your friends and followers know how much you love the podcast. It really helps. Our music was written and produced by Jason Hilton. You can find him at Negative Selections on Instagram. You can follow me, Charlie, at GreenPixie12 on most platforms. I also have an art Instagram at GreenPixieDraws.
You can find me, Robert, at the Damn Meme Page on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky. If you want to have more from me, check out my YouTube channel, also called the Damn Meme Page, where I make videos mainly about Percy Jackson, but also sometimes other fun stuff. The Bits is proud to be a part of Deus Ex Media, which features great podcasts like Of the Eldest Gods, a chapter-by-chapter Rick Riordan pod with mythological context and no spoilers.
Well, we finished the Percy Jackson series. Wait, what are we still doing here? And what is that music?
Oh, you thought it was over, bro? We're just getting started.
We are? Charlie, what's next for Of the Eldest Gods?
Well, Raye, it's time for us to go into our Egyptian era. We're gonna start the Kane Chronicles.
Oh, hell yeah! Wait, why do you have a glowing boomerang?
Don't worry about it. It's just my Egyptian magic wand.
Man, the Egyptian stuff isn't going to be like the Greek stuff, is it?
Not at all. But we'll still cover mythology as it comes up in each chapter.
Are we going to have cabins this season?
Nah, the Canes don't have cabins. So instead, I'm Charlie, following the path of Bast.
And I'm Raye, following the path of Geb.
Join us as we read The Red Pyramid, the first book of the Cane Chronicles, chapter by chapter.
Welcome back to Of the Eldest Gods.
Basically goth. That's me.
What the hell? How are you? How is one basically goth?
Well, the only makeup that I sometimes wear is eyeliner, black eyeliner, and the only nail polish I ever use is black nail polish. So I feel like that qualifies me as goth.
We bought makeup like 3 weeks ago, so I'm like, hey Mac, I want you to do my makeup. I feel confident, and then I instantly chicken out the second like the makeup was in our hands.
Aww.
Like the makeup's here, and I think if I have some more of this wine, I might get comfortable and to be like, do my makeup, fuck it, who cares?
Getting drunk and recording cosplay TikToks is one of my favorite activities. And I mean, I've done that like twice, but the lack of inhibitions really does help in that sort of thing.
God forbid you feel the rain on your skin and release your inhibitions.
Dave X Media.